All right, you won't believe this, but Joe Biden wasn't even in charge of his own presidency. And no, I'm not talking about his handlers. I'm talking about a machine. That's right, an Autopen. This explosive report by Oversight Project has a lot of people asking a lot of questions. What we have is a robotic signature device, and it looks like it may have signed more executive orders than Biden ever did. More than Biden ever even knew about, as well as what some of the evidence is indicating. So who was really calling the shots in the White House? The big question here is, if Biden didn't even know he was signing things, are his policies, pardons, and executive orders even legal? Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back. Now, let's talk about something that's both shocking and downright terrifying. You probably assumed that when Joe Biden signed executive orders, pardons, and policy directives, he was at least aware of what he was doing, right?
Right.
But what if I told you that nearly everything his administration did was rubber stamped, not by Biden himself, but by a machine? This isn't some wild conspiracy theory. It's cold, hard fact. The Autopen, a signature replication machine, was used to sign every single Biden document. Every single one. Except for one, the letter announcing that he was dropping out of the race. Now, why would that be the only document he signed personally? Think about it. And here's where things get even crazier. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey is now calling on the DOJ to investigate whether Biden's cognitive decline allowed unelected staffers to push through radical policies without his knowledge. Let's be honest, it wouldn't be the most surprising thing we've learned about Biden's so-called leadership. But it begs the question, if Biden wasn't actually making the decisions, then who was? And more importantly, how deep does this rabbit hole go? According to the Oversight Project from the Heritage Foundation, Biden's Autopen signature appeared on everything except that one document. Man, if this story doesn't scream cover up, I don't know what does. Remember when Speaker Mike Johnson revealed that Biden didn't even recall signing an executive order pausing LNG exports to Europe that they desperately needed? That was liquefied natural gas. Because of that, they had to rely on Russia for their energy. That wasn't just forgetfulness, guys. That was a symptom of something much, much worse. He didn't sign it himself. The Autopen did without his knowledge. Give it a watch.
Sir, why did you pause LNG exports to Europe? Like, I don't understand, liquefied natural gas is in great demand by our allies. Why would you do that? Because you understand, we just talked about Ukraine. You understand you're fueling Vladimir Putin's war machine because they got to get their gas from him, And he looks at me stunned with this, and he said, I didn't do that. And I said, Mr. President, yes, you did. It was an executive order 3 weeks ago. And he goes, no, I didn't do that. And he's arguing with me. I said, Mr. President, respectfully, could I go out here and ask your secretary to print it out? We'll read it together. You definitely did that. And he goes, oh, you talk about natural gas. Yes, sir. He said, no, you misunderstand. He said, what I did is I signed this thing we're gonna conduct a study on the effects of LNG. I said, no, you're not, sir. You paused it. I know. I have the export terminals in my state. I talked to those people this morning. This is doing massive damage to our economy, national security. It occurred to me, Barry, he was not lying to me. He genuinely did not know what he had signed. And I walked out of that meeting with fear and loathing because I thought, we're in serious trouble. Who is running the country? I don't know who put the paper in front of him, but he didn't know.
Guys, that means that his staffers lied to him. It's like a really bad 1980s sitcom. They put the executive order down for him to sign. He said, what's this? And they said, oh, it's just to get a study started on liquefied natural gas. Guys, that's what happened. Let's connect the dots. If Biden didn't know he was signing orders, and nearly every official document was signed by a machine, that means unelected officials were effectively running the country, which means Biden's entire presidency wasn't just weak, it was illegitimate. This isn't just another case of Democrats bending the rules. This is a fundamental betrayal of the American people. Our system is designed for leaders, not for puppet governments where the real power is hidden behind bureaucrats and their fancy robo-signature machines. Here's the thing. Nobody in the legacy media wants to touch it. They don't want to talk about it. You'd think a story about a so-called leader of the free world not actually leading would be a major scandal. But nope, just business as usual in D.C. Look, the founding fathers never anticipated we'd have a president who wasn't even aware of what he was doing. But they did give us a solution, and that solution is the same solution to having a completely immoral, crooked person making his way into the White House and doing 4 years of absolute horror to the country. The remedy the founders gave us wasn't retribution. It was accountability. And on November 5th, 2024, America exercised that remedy and took back the White House, which means we took back America. But that's not enough, not in this case. There need to be real consequences. This situation demands a full-scale investigation. No more sternly worded letters. No more political theater. No more empty outrage on Fox News and CNN. We need real action. Because if we just let this slide, guys, then what's stopping them from doing it again? At the end of the day, this isn't just about Joe Biden's incompetence. It's about who was really running the country while he was in office. If nearly every executive order, pardon, and policy decision was signed by a machine, then we didn't have a legitimate presidency. We had a bureaucratic coup. That's not a democracy. That's a scam. But here's the good news. America fought back. On November 5th, the people sent a loud message, and it was very clear. We will not be ruled by unelected handlers hiding behind a signature machine. We took back the White House, and now we have the opportunity to restore accountability, rebuild trust, and put America first again. The system may be broken, but the spirit of this country is alive and well. The future is brighter than ever because we, the people, still have the final say. All right, thank you for watching. Hit the notification bell if you want to be kept up to date with more stories like this. I'll see you in the next one.
Little by little, piece by piece, I take back what's been stolen from me. Little by little, piece by piece, until I'm complete.